Hi, Kimberly here, and thank you for stopping by my channel for another video. Today I'm going to show you how to create this split front card that I created, and I had a video that showed you how to assemble it. And we're going to do this in Cricut Design Space 3. This is a card that I just simply love. I think it's very versatile. And you don't always have to use a sentiment. You can also use most images that you like. So here is what the happy birthday card looks like. Sorry, in the design space. And also I shared on my blog the Mother's Day split front card that I had created as well. And we'll come over here to a new project. And what we want to start with is go to our shapes. And we're going to select a square and one more square. We'll put that over here to the side. And then back to shapes, we need 2 score lines. And I selected 2 score lines because I have found whenever I use 2 score lines for my cards, they're folding much easier. So from now on, whenever I share a cut file with you and you see your machine scoring twice, that's why. So let's go ahead and group this together, and we'll align this and make it center, and then come over here and we will group it together, and we'll rotate it 90 degrees so it's horizontal. And one more thing, let's go ahead and make that 4 1/4. All right, now let's come over here to our card base. I am going to change the color to white, and I'm going to unlock my aspect ratio here, and we'll make this 11 inches tall and 4 1/4 inches wide. This will be a standard top fold A2 size card, one of my favorites. All right, so we have that there. So let's go ahead and bring our score line over here, and we'll get this in position and this part will be done. So we're going to get this in the center of the card. So select all of that and click Align and just click Center, and it will put it perfectly in the middle. All right, so now we need to find a sentiment that we like, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this with an image as well. So let's come over here to Images, and I've already was looking at borders, so let me come down here and select the border I want to try. I like this one. And then there's a hello that I really like. And you want to make sure when you select an image or a sentiment, it's nice when it's all connected together and it's just going to weld with your card base much easier. So we'll insert those images, and we'll set that one aside. And so we'll start with hello. So you want to get this about the size that you want. And I like mine a little big because it will be the star of the card. So I like that. So let's go ahead and ungroup this. And it's really helpful if the image you select has a shadow, and it's just going to make layering and welding much nicer, but it's not necessary. So we'll ungroup that, and we'll move these images over here. And we'll grab this square here, and this is what we're going to use to slice our window for the split front card. That's a tongue twister. So just drag that out. You don't have to worry about how big it is. It's nicer when it's bigger than what your base is. And then before we slice, let's get our score line out of the way. And I just selected it and using the arrow on my keyboard to move it to the left out of the way. And it will hold that position for me. Then we can just scooch it back over when we're ready to use it. So I like that. And do you see here how you're going to have these points touching the card, and that's what you're wanting. So this is tall enough, so we'll move this out of the way. And I moved it. That's okay. We can hit our undo button and it will put it right back in place. I'm glad that happened. And then we're going to select everything. And then we're going to click slice. And then we'll just get rid of all this. And let's go ahead and move that to the back. All right, so here's our shadow. And I like where that's touching, so go ahead and select everything. And we're going to click align. And with this, you want to make sure that you click center horizontally, and it will put it right in the middle there for you. So everything is still selected. So we will come over here to weld. And now it has welded all these images together. Go ahead and select your card base and move it to the back. Select your score line. Bring it over. Oops. And we will select everything. And we will align it center horizontally. And we will click attach. And so our card base is complete. And we'll move it to the back so I can show you what this looks like. And so you'll have this lovely layered hello card that you can make and give to somebody you're thinking of. There we go. And that's really nice. And so you can do the same thing with an image, and I'll show you real quick. I don't want this to be too long. So again, I'm going to go ahead and do my shapes. And so we're going to make this 11 inches and 4.25 inches wide. Again, I'm going to change this to white. And we'll do our two score lines. And we're going to align those, put them in the center. That way they're perfectly together, and we'll group them together and rotate that 90 degrees and make it 4 1/4 inches wide. And I'm going to move these out of the way. So I'm going to center my score line, click align, click center, perfect. And then let's bring this to the front. So I like that. And then this is the box that we're going to use to slice. Let's bring this to the front, and then move it behind here. And then we'll move this out of the way. Move our score lines out of the way with your arrow keys on your keyboard. There we go. And we will slice that. Oops, down here, Kim. And we'll get rid of all these extra images. We'll move it to the back. And let's ungroup this. And I'm just eyeballing it there. But then I'm going to get it centered horizontally. So go to Align, Center Horizontally. And I like that. And then we will click Weld. And then bring our score lines over. Let's move this card to the back. And then you can also make some extra panels for decoration. I just want to show you how to create the card base itself. And then we have that. We will attach it. We got to send it to the back because you won't be able to see this image. And then we will add this. And in essence, you could actually just use this and you could really see through it. But I like how it has the cutaway and everything. So that is how you create a split front card. And you can also make this with, if you want to make it 5.5 by, 5.5 by 8.5 inches tall by 5.5 inches tall. I believe that's right. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and just give this a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.